guys, and welcome back to my channel. Now I'm back again with another winter fragrance wardrobe list. The first one that should have been posted should have been my designer list. Right now we're talking about niche, okay? I couldn't keep it down to 10 niche fragrances, so I have, I believe, 12 or 11. So I guess you can say honorable mentions, but you know, we'll just say 10. We'll just say 12. We'll say 12 and just call it a day. It's okay. Yeah, so these are gonna be fragrances that are more sweeter, more sensual, more sultry, more woody, more thick and dense, you know, those type fragrances for the winter, because that's what I like to wear, and most people too. So here you're gonna find some spicy fragrances, you're gonna find some leathery fragrances, you're gonna find some oud fragrances, you're gonna find some coffee fragrances. You know, we got everything. So I guess I'll start with what's in my hand now. Perhaps the only fragrance du bois fragrance that I enjoy, and yeah, and that one is Oud Bleu Intense. I had to remind myself what it was called. Oud Bleu Intense. I have just a tiny 15 ml. And I actually swapped this blindly, judging by the notes, because the one fragrance du bois I had, Santal Complet, was very lackluster for me, and I didn't enjoy it. I thought it was a waste of money. This, however, has way more substance. There's a prominent cardamom note. The oud here is nothing animalic, nothing skanky, very clean, kind of more on the soapy end. It's kind of a more cleaner, sophisticated, spicy scent. There are notes of cardamom in here, also some nutmeg, which I love because it gives it a beautiful warmth. There's also a lot of ladanum in here that kind of give it a bit of amberiness that also adds to the warmth. But yeah, if you haven't tried Oud Bleu Intense, try it. I think it'll work really, really nicely in the winter months, and I'm happy to have it. Very happy to have it. Next, I'm just gonna grab. Next one is Amouage's Memoir Woman. This is one that you heard me speak about in my sheep video, and this is basically a leathery, slightly animalic sheep. I was gonna say libre. What's wrong with me? Anyway, so this one is more of a leathery animalic sheep with lots of spices. There's tons of castoreum in here. This fragrance also just screams sexy. This fragrance is sexy, it's sensual, it's spicy, but it's sweet, but it has a bit of aromaticness to it. A little bit of leather. I can't smell anything because I sprayed so much already. I'm gonna spray it on my hand, on my arm. Actually, I don't want to spray this because I still have a little bit left of my decant. Oh well, that's probably why I couldn't smell anything. Okay. Oh yeah. It's resinous, sweet, smoky. There's some incense in here, perhaps some myrrh. It's just, every time I smell this fragrance, I'm like, why is it so good? Why is it so good? Next is gonna be a quite intense saffron leather fragrance, and this is from the house of Kajal, and this is Warek. Warek is not for the faint of heart, okay? But I feel like it will work stunningly in the cooler weather. It's quite an intense leather because it's quite herbaceous, I think due to the saffron in here. So it's kind of like aggressive. It's a rough, aggressive take on a leather fragrance, which I do love. It's rough around the edges. It's kind of like in your face and quite loud and unapologetic, and I love that about this. I believe there's oud notes in here as well, some woody notes, but ultimately I get a lot of saffron and a lot of leather, and like not a smooth, supple, friendly leather. This is more of like punch you in the face leather, you know. So this one, if you have a chance to sample it, just beware, okay? It's not your basic leather fragrance. Next, Next is Woody Mood by Olfactive Studio, and I talked about this, I believe, in a video talking about 5 fragrances that you need to try from my collection. So I won't spend too much time on it, but this has a beautiful, very unique sequoia note in here. It's quite dark and moody, hence the name. Very woody, hence the name again. But it just has this aura. And I think I said it in that video where this is the fragrance that you wear when you want to embrace the darkness, if that makes any sense. The winter is quite dark, it's cold. So if you just want to bask in that, just spray on some Woody Mood and it'll get you there. And I really do enjoy this fragrance. It's great, it's great. I have everything. I have so much sprayed on me, it's insane. Next fragrance is African Leather by Memo. It's African leather, but the leather here is very faint and almost non-existent in my opinion. It's there, but I feel like it's kind of misleading to name it African leather because mostly I get spice. I get cardamom, nutmeg, really beautiful, vibrant spices, and I love that about this fragrance. I don't regret getting it because I sampled it a while ago and I was like, this is not giving me leather, but I love it, you know? I love it. I guess when I first got it, I was expecting it to be pretty intense, but while sampling, I was kind of let down because it didn't have the leather that I was expecting, but pleasantly surprised at the composition of it, and I really enjoyed it, and I ended up getting a full bottle. Yeah, so I said nutmeg, but this actually has a lot of cardamom and cumin, but the cumin in here is not even close to anything BO-like. It's very pleasant, very smooth, and works very well with the saffron notes in here as well. But it's not super earthy. It's like a woody, aromatic, warm, spicy fragrance, and that is African Leather by Memo Paris. Next is one that I love, and that's Noir Exquis by L'Artisan Parfumeur. This one is ebony, coffee, maple syrup, some spices, some woody notes. It's just so delicious. It's sweet but not so sweet. Did I mention coffee? I don't know if I did, but it has coffee in here. But it's a very pleasant scent that just works well in the cool weather. I find that this can even do pretty okay in the like spring months, because it's not super cloying, but it's great. I love it. Noir Exquis by L'Artisan Parfumeur. Next is another one that I talked about on my 5 fragrances you need to try out of my collection. That is Fidelis by Histoires de Parfum, and this one also has a coffee note, but it's prominent oud, rose, saffron. To me, I get some chocolatey notes in here as well. But this one is just also another one that's very sophisticated and it lasts a long time. And I just love the development of this on my skin. It's just, I can't smell anything. I can't smell anything. I'm trying to smell, but I can't because I've been filming videos that I have stuff sprayed all over me. It's insane. But I love this. Perfect for the winter months. If you haven't tried it, get your nose on it ASAP. Another one that's oud and rose, and that is Diptyque's Oud Palao. It has, okay, I can smell this one. A quite slightly animalic oud, rose. There's tobacco and vanilla in here that gives it a really beautiful sweetness. A lot of people compare Oud Palao to Oud Ispahan by Dior, and I do agree they're very similar, but I feel like the rose and Oud Ispahan is more jammy, more sweeter, whereas this one's a bit more drier, maybe thanks to the tobacco note in here. But I do love them. I think I very slightly prefer Oud Palao. Perhaps because I had it longer, I'm not sure. But ultimately, it's a stunning rose and oud fragrance. And yeah, I love this fragrance. I love it so much. Next, I'll talk about this. Halfeti Leather by Penhaligon. This one's a rose oud fragrance, but it's more surrounded by lots of spices, a slight leathery note, but just it's very It's so good. It has amber notes as well, so it's like a warm, spicy, leathery fragrance. There's a little bit of fruity nuances in it that gives it so much dimension. But this will be a fantastic scent to wear in the winter, and I cannot wait. I can't wait. Penhaligon's Halfeti Leather. I love this fragrance. Perhaps my favorite Penhaligon's fragrance that I own. So if you have experience with Halfeti, it's Halfeti but with leather, so it's a bit darker, slightly a bit more aromatic. Another one that I'm looking forward to wearing in the winter is another Penhaligon's fragrance, and this one is the Bewitching Yasmine, part of the Portraits collection. I mean, look at that bottle and that juice. That juice is probably like artificial coloring, but it's sexy though. But this one is a spicy oud fragrance with a heavy dose of cardamom. It's quite sweet. There's vanilla, there's coffee notes in here as well. But this wears on my skin really beautifully. Yeah, I love this fragrance, and I expect to see this fragrance in a lot of winter lists. If I don't, I'll be very disappointed. So don't disappoint me, guys. But yeah, the Bewitching Yasmine by Penhaligon's. Stunning. So I have 2 more left, and one that is gonna work so well in the winter time is Creation E Parfum Cologne by Roja Dev. Oh, so good. So this fragrance to me reminds me of a root beer float. Okay, so it has a fizziness to it that people like to say smells like Coca-Cola. I particularly don't get Coca-Cola. I get specifically a root beer float because it has prominent vanilla notes. It has some benzoin in it as well, that give it that thick sweetness that I just love. Let me spray it here. I'll spray it here. Okay. Oh, yes, it's great. I won't spend too much time on it, but you guys know it's great. That is Creation E by Roja Parfums. Next is one that is quite new to my collection. I got it on a sale, one of my first bottles of Serge Lutens, and this one is 5 o'clock Oud Gingembre. I don't know. I think I can spray here on my skin. Wow, no, Memoir woman is still there. It went through my shirt. I don't know what to do. Let's spray it here. Oof. I think there's too much sprays. I think there's too much fragrance. I can't spray anymore. Or else I might literally just pass out. I might pass out. So 5 o'clock Eau Gingembre is a warm, spicy fragrance with a gorgeous ginger note. It has tea note, but the dry down is warm, earthy, a little bit sweet. I won't consider this a very sexy fragrance, but I feel like it's a very seasoned fragrance, like the Christmas season. For some reason, it just puts me in like a festive mood, and I really do like this one. Like I said, it's a new fragrance to my collection, so I don't have much experience wearing it, but I look forward to gaining that experience. So that is Serge Lutens 5 o'clock Eau Gingembre. That's it. That is it. Okay, that's great. I think my videos are being decently short, quick, fast, straight to the point, you know, no rambling. So those were my niche picks for my winter fragrance wardrobe. Fragrances that are going to be in my rotation as far as niche fragrances goes. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Are there any here that I talked about today that you have experience with, or you also plan to wear in the winter months? Also, let me know what are your niche picks. Just list a couple of them down in the description, or not in the description because I don't think you can do that, but list them, a couple of them in the comment section. I'd love to hear what you guys are planning to wear. So again, thank you for being here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya!